All right, we are live. We got Facebook up, what's up? Got YouTube, what's up? And Twitter today. All right, I'm gonna grab some water. We're gonna be talking about how to set up your deals so that you can retire more easily, and some of the things that we did in the final PEFI funds. That is pretty cool. So I will grab some water, let a few folks get in here. We'll get rolling. I gotta figure out if anybody knows how to add the music at the beginning. I need to look that up and see how to do that so I can play y'all some cool music when we get started. Ah, gracias. What is up? Say hello as you come in, pretty please. That light is kind of annoying in the background. Put any questions you have. See if I can fix that. So I'll just turn this light off. How about that? Cool. So a little bit. Uh, One sec. Sorry, guys. I'm about to grab something to wipe this off. Finally, better. All right. What's up? Say hello as you pop in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Marcus. Mark says no video today. I was just trying to clean the camera. Let me know if y'all can see my video now. Perfect. All right, we're ready to roll. Cool. So I want to talk about one of the neat parts of getting into private equity. More importantly, getting into exiting the deals that you acquire through private equity, and how to exit those in the right way, so that you're maximizing your long term wealth. Now, for a lot of you at the beginning, you just want to get cash. And so this isn't as important. But as you start to build a little bit of wealth, what really becomes more important is the longevity of the wealth, number one. And then number two is minimizing the tax burden. And so this was something that even from the first PEFI became a little interesting, because obviously for me, I'm really interested in, okay, let's maximize the total amount that we can get from each of these deals. And so when you do that, there are a couple things that you want to do. Number one is you want to stretch out those payments for the person that is buying the business. So if they're not able to get an SBA, one way to do that is SBA. We've been working on quite a few SBA deals. If you're interested in getting financing on any deal, be sure to reach out, Nori at financierbank.com, and we can get you connected. But doing some really cool deals. And one of the things with even on the SBA financing side is they'll stretch out those payments. I was on the call, really just doing some consulting with a buddy as he was looking at a deal, and they're like, I don't think on this one we'd be able to do 20 years. I think we could maybe do 10. It's like 20 years, like that wasn't even in our peripheral. It's just financing these things for 20 years. And to give you an idea of why that's so amazing, so if you're buying a business and you're buying it the right way, you should be buying it at a 3 multiple. That means that you're going to get all your money back in 3 years. And most of the time with the offline deals that we're doing, which is why I'm such a big fan right now, is you're buying those deals at a 2 multiple. So if you can get financing at a 10-year amortization, that basically means that your debt coverage is very high. So it's basically 5 times debt coverage using kind of simple math. That you've gotten. So that just means that your deal is really safe, but also that you're able to take off a bunch of cash if you want, or you can, instead just just pay off the loan and get rid of that. So it creates this optionality, which is really cool. It's also one of the reasons that I like franchise deals. We're doing SBA on a franchise deal right now. And it's because you have those conversations where the bank's like, you're not having that conversation on like a startup. You're definitely not having that conversation on an internet business. Shout out to Richard Patey. Speaking of internet businesses, one of my favorite leaders in the internet acquisition space. If you're not following Richard, be sure to check him out. Thanks for coming in. And as he knows, I've done a lot of, and I'll get to you, Sigma. I've done a lot of internet deals, but one of the biggest downsides is those financing options if you're just getting started. Now, after a lot of deals, SBA doesn't make sense because of liens and that kind of thing, but it's a really powerful thing. We've got a few deals right now that are in that $1.5 million to $2 million. And this is on the good merger side of things, range that are franchise acquisitions where the person is, they don't have a lot of money. I don't want to say they're broke. They're not broke, but they couldn't buy. They're not going out just doing $2 million deals on their own. They're not doing $500,000 deals on their own. And so, whereas when you look at the affordability and the type of business they could buy, if they're buying an internet business, in one of the cases where we've got this amazing business, he's going to be cash flowing about $500,000 a year, and the business is for sale at like $1.5 million. So right at 3 multiple, it's a franchise. Well, for that person, they couldn't buy a business 1/3 that size. It was a internet business. And this is just across the board. So not even to say that person, but it'd be really difficult in their financial position to buy a internet business that was 1/3 the size, which means making $150,000, maybe they're going to buy it for $400,000, and then the multiples are higher. So you bring that over to the franchise place where because of the franchisor, the bank would offer something, something where it's a 10-year AM or, maybe even a 20-year AM, but it's because of that the strength of that franchise and a minimum down payment. And part of that could be financed by the seller. So if you look at using seller financing in other cases, it's, just like they're going to want their money in 2 years is really kind of where people like to be. And then if you're a master negotiator, maybe you can get that to 3 years. So that gives you, just a sense there of the difference. And it really just comes down to where you are personally and that kind of thing. So on the back end of those deals, it becomes, how do you want to exit? And in some cases, if the person is going to go out and get an SBA loan when you're exiting, that gives you all your cash, which is great. You get a lump sum of cash. And if you're going to go out and redeploy that, it's also just having this conversation as well with somebody who was considering a $5 million exit. It's like, man, like after you look at all the, even if you're looking at SBA, it's like all these fees and all these things, that's money that doesn't come to you. There's, this thing called the SBA guarantee fee. So all of the fees that they're going to charge and all the interest that they're going to charge is money that really, all the fees is subtracted from your money. Uh, so that just automatically subtracts what you're going to get. The interest represents money that could have been yours if you were the bank on the deal. And that's, hundreds of thousands of dollars in a lot of cases. And you're going to get taxed. And so you combine these things together. And even if when you can get a lump sum, if you can avoid that, if you don't need that cash, it can be better to do that over a long period of time. And that's what, at least my recommendation was on the $5 million deal. That my friend was considering, where it's like, okay, I could literally get this, and it sounds crazy when you're literally recommending that somebody not take $5 million. It was like, don't accept that 5 million, structure it this way. And again, this is all case by case. It would take me having a conversation with you. I'm not giving just a blanket. I'm not giving any financial advice, blanket or not. I'm not giving anybody any financial advice. That's, unless I have a relationship with you. So what we love to do is have a financial structure on the back end of that is tax advantage. I won't give you tax advice either. Be sure to hit the like button. I'm seeing folks pop in, but not seeing the like. So be sure to hit the like button, guys. I appreciate it. But when you're exiting that deal, it becomes this really neat opportunity to essentially create an annuity for yourself over a certain period of time. And so when I'm structuring these, I like to do it in kind of 3 layers. Number one, I want to keep a little, if I like the business and I like the buyer of that business, then I want to keep some equity because there's probably some upside. I've told stories before because I'm not a great operator. I'm the first to admit, I've had business fail. I had a Plato's Closet where it was an amazing deal. This is a franchise we've been doing a lot of franchises. So I've been talking a lot about franchises lately. Which, stay tuned. I'll talk about the next iffy investment fund incubator. And side note, we did to the Patreon, we added a first of the couple of mobile home fund calls so you guys can get a behind the scenes look at what we're doing in that fund. But I like to structure these exits in 3 layers. The top layer for me is some equity. So this becomes just kind of long-term wealth building. At some point, that business is going to sell again. Maybe I'll keep some my equity and roll that over into the financing of that buyer, or I will, basically take cash once they exit. So that becomes one portion of just my long-term wealth strategy when it comes to private equity. Because a lot of times we just talk about, I'm going to buy this business, I'm going to make some money, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to make some more money. But if you're doing it right, then this really allows you to retire. So that becomes part of that private equity like wealth plan. It's the equity that I keep in the deal, and it's completely passive because at this point the buyer is going to run that business. The second part of that layered deal structure is usually earnout. So I'll have a certain portion where I'm going to take some money over a period of time. And the idea there isn't necessarily just to wait on the cash. It's to maximize the price of the business. So if I'm basically giving that person the option, it's like, okay, like I can come down the price, but you're going to have to put more money up front. Or we could increase the price and I'll let you pay that out of the earnings of the business, which is a great deal for them. And so it's about maximizing the long term. And most of the people, when they're doing the deals, and it's just so, I understand the thinking, but most sellers are doing it wrong. It's like you've poured time, you've poured money, all this into this business over the course of years. And now after putting all that time and effort over the course of years into that business, now instead of maximizing your return over the coming years after the exit and maximizing your return on all of that effort that you put in before, now you want the money right now. You're going to take a big discount in order to get it right now. And so if you're really thinking like a deal maker, it's, when I'm talking to somebody and we want to do self-finance and we want to do this kind of structure from a buyer's perspective, It's literally the same thing that I want to do from a seller's perspective. It's win-win. It's a win-win situation. So the earnout portion is more about price maximization. And then the final piece is the seller financing, so the note. And the really cool thing here is that you can, end up with really an asset. So, if you structure the note properly, this becomes something that you could sell in an emergency. So it's not like, okay, if I do this 5-year note, now I have an emergency come up, I can't get my cash out, that becomes an asset that you're able to sell. But ideally, you're earning this interest over the course of these 5 years, and that's just additional money. It increases the total amount of wealth that you're generating from this one deal. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake that people make, is not maximizing their exits and really minimizing the total ROI because they're in a rush to get the money. Now, if you're desperate, you're up against the wall, you got to have the money. You got to have the money. But don't take that shave. Don't take that cut in your ROI. And you don't really it's literally the $5 million conversation. It's like, don't take this money just to have it sit in this other place where it's not going to even generate the return that you could have gotten off the interest and earn out and everything that you would have gotten if you did this over time. Cool. Let's get into some questions. Hopefully that's helpful for y'all and how you're thinking about deals. I will say we are doing the next investment fund incubator. This one is going to be focused on franchises. We're doing a lot of deals in franchising. I'll be talking a little bit more just about that. But as y'all know, we shut down PEFI in order to have these have funds that are a little bit more focused. And so what I realized is, over the course of those 5 deals or 5 funds, we're just doing a lot of different things, which worked out really well. But I also know from my personal experiences, there's this compounding effect of really focusing on a specific area. For me right now, we see a lot of opportunity in the franchise space. And so as we are tripling down on that, it becomes this kind of increase in psychic RAM about that space, because you're thinking about that space. You're looking at a lot of different deals specifically in that space. Your due diligence gets a lot better. Your connections get a lot better. Your deal flow gets a lot better. Everything gets better by really focusing on. We're talking about the mobile homes. It's like a very specific thing. So if you are interested in that, we're a little early, but if you want to get on the list, you can hit me at ace@goodmerger.com. It's even better if you hit Nori. I didn't put her email up here, but it's Nori@financierbank.com. And I'll talk more about that in the coming months. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. All right, we got Sigma popped in. It says, greetings from San Fran. We are patiently looking forward to working with you and scheduling a call. Excellent, Sigma. Look forward to connecting with you. Feel free to hit me. Like I said, even better if you either go to acechapman.com and fill out the form, or hit Nori, just because I get hit with a lot of stuff. But thanks for popping in. Emmanuel. I don't think I've seen a name before, so I appreciate you popping in. It says, hey, Ace, thank you so much for checking out the little morning cast. Al Boss, I like it. Says, good morning, Mr. Chapman. Richard said, hey, sir, your words are too kind. Nah, it's all truth, man, all truth. Richard says, I've actually started looking at offline deals. I didn't know that. That's very cool. But with online Boopos, looks like it can help with content site acquisition, which is new and great. Cool. I haven't seen that. I got to check that out. And very curious on the offline deals you're looking at. Obviously, I'm looking at everything. I want to see everything and just be able to compare all the opportunities. We're still doing some royalty stuff with Kindle in the internet space on the Fiji side of things. So definitely still want to keep my pulse. So thanks for sharing that site. I got to make sure that I check that out. Cool. All right. Darius, what's up? Long time. It has been a long time. Long time no speak, my G. More life to you. I certainly appreciate it. And coming from another part of the world, Curtis Davis popped in and says, good evening. And good evening to you. Good morning to others. Thank y'all for checking out the video. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in the franchise fund that we're doing coming up, be sure to reach out, and I'll talk to y'all soon.